Hello, YouTube. It's been a while. It's been quite a while. Um, it's been a minute because I was trying to, you know, get myself out of depression before I sat back in front of the camera and, spoke to everybody. But I mean, honestly, I'm still depressed, but I'm feeling better than I have been. I'm still working with my therapist, meeting once a week. Um, just trying to get to the normal me because I'm just not feeling like myself. I've been dealing with a lot of things. I'm not gonna say that. There's always gonna be hurdles in life, and I've just been dealing with a lot of hurdles. I'm still very grateful and thankful for life itself. Lately, I've just been praying to God for strength, just to help me get through this all. I've been through this so many times before. Um, you know, when you up, you down, and you're gonna get back up. You just have to be positive and know that there's a brighter side to this. Like, I'm gonna get through this. So just asking God for strength. One thing that I do know after having a long conversation with my daughter, which my daughter is not really a religious person, and she just had a conversation with me a couple of weeks ago and it helped me realize some really important things. And she said that, for the past couple of years when I was, had my really good paying job and, things were going really great for me, that the one thing she realized that I wasn't doing was putting God first. I wasn't thanking God. I wasn't praying like I normally do. And she's absolutely right. And I had to actually think about it like, wait a minute. Often we want to be defensive about things and, try to, just think about what's being said to you. But after actually sitting back and thinking about it, she was absolutely right. I was so focused on working and making money. Um, I didn't think I didn't thank God for the good times, bad times. I didn't thank God at all. I don't even think I was blessing my food as I normally would. So, all things happen for a reason. Some things are meant to humble you and to show you what's truly important. And for me, I feel like my lesson that I needed to learn in this current situation that I'm in is never forget to put God first in all that you do, in everything. Whether you're having a good day or a bad day, just always remember to thank God. And just don't forget to pray, and don't always pray and just be asking for things. Just pray and just thank God, for the life that you have, and for him to thanking God for, blessing you and just continue to give you the strength. So one of the things that I've been working on, since my daughter had that conversation with me, is just trying to get closer to God again. And when I do get myself back on track, I I'm not going to ever lose that relationship that I have with God. Like, despite anything else that's going on, I will always make time for God. And that is a promise that I have made. So, um it doesn't matter if you were doing good things, you know, it's not like, oh, you were just spending that time sinning or anything like that. It doesn't matter if you were doing good things with the money that you were making or things of that nature. What matters is that I wasn't putting God first. I wasn't thanking God for those things. Even if I was, helping someone out and, during that time, or, just whatever I was doing with my money, or even with my time, I wasn't thanking God. So yeah, that's something that I learned. I've been focusing on being positive. I actually have been working on anger management. I was raised in a time where yelling was a normal thing. It was normal to be yelled at. It was normal to be hit. It was just normal. Um, and as a mother, I didn't normalize hitting my daughter. That wasn't a thing. But I constantly yelled. And at times when she asked me if I could stop, I tried and I worked on it. And my daughter's 21. And even now, like, with therapy and everything, I've improved, but I still have some work to do. Our conversations are much better than they ever were. But I just realized that, when you're raised a certain way and you see it happening all throughout your entire family, and it was passed down from generation to generation, like that's how her mother raised her, yelling and, hitting and beating. And I don't want to continue that cycle. When my daughter becomes a mother, I don't want her to yell at her child. I want her to have a conversation with her child, which is, I mean, I did. I don't want to make it seem as if I never sat and just had a conversation with my daughter, because we did. We had several conversations. She was very manipulative, and she would try to talk her way out of a lot of situations that she found herself in. But when she did do something that was bad, my natural reaction was to yell. And that is something that she can't stand. And even to this day, when she does something that I don't agree with, um, if I start yelling, she shuts down. Like, she doesn't want to continue the conversation. And at first I was so offended by it. And I'm like, that's disrespectful. How can you just try to end a conversation with me? I'm still talking. And, what she said to me, she needed to calm down and then come back to me to have the conversation when she was calm, because she didn't like the fact that I was yelling at her. So that's something that I'm continuing to work on. I am not perfect. I'm not about to sit up here and tell you that I'm just this peaceful, calm person, but I have changed. I have noticed a lot of things about myself that I just wasn't happy with, and I didn't change it for anyone other than myself. And also for my daughter. I'm not going to sit up here and say just for myself, but mainly it was for me, because I didn't like not speaking to my daughter, because, she's in college and our relationship had become a little bit estranged, and, no communicating on a daily basis. And, she considered me her best friend. She would tell me all the time, you're my best friend, Mom. And then for us not to speak as much, because she was not wanting to communicate with me, because I was aggressive with her at times. It was an issue. And, lately we haven't had too many of those issues. Everything has been pretty much smooth. It's always going to be some hiccups. It's always going to be a test. And I just have to remember that this is a test. You need to pass this test. Get it together. Because I can remember even being in a workplace and a manager, made me upset, and my natural instinct was I wanted to punch her in her face. And that's unacceptable. That's not something that you should be doing. I had a lot of anger in me. You talk about road rage. I would try to pull somebody out of their car if they cut me off and gave me the finger or something. That was dangerous. I was being dangerous. I was just being crazy, and I just had to change that. And yeah, I've changed a lot of things. Um, I'm happier with myself than what I used to be. And one of the things that I've learned through therapy is that, well, I'll have this conversation because I haven't had it yet. Maybe I mentioned it, I'm not sure, on my YouTube channel, but I have a scar here. This was all melted together. I didn't used to have this corner here. And I'm not going to show you because it's a little gross, but I lost a quarter of my tongue when I was 5. So on my 5th birthday, I bit an electrical wire. And I did it because I was upset at the time with my mother. And following that situation, I've had several plastic surgeries, speech therapy. I was teased all throughout my life. Did not stop even as an adult. And some people thought it was a cold sore. It just, I get the weirdest stuff. I've been called some really horrible names like sausage lip. blowtorch lit, you know, just just a lot of stuff. I've had low self-esteem for a very long time since I did that. But through therapy, one of the things that I realized is that I never forgave my 5-year old self for what I did. I actually um, felt like the things that had happened in my life over the years was a result of what I did, and I had no one to blame but myself. And what my therapist helped me to understand was that I was only 5, and there was no way that I would ever understand that what I what my actions, what I was doing was gonna result in, things further down the line, all the things that I ended up dealing with. There was no way for me to know that. So what I have been working on, and I'm not fully there because I still have had some days where I've sat and just started that negative thinking, and I'm just trying to like clear the negative thinking and not feeling like, it's my fault. Just, you know, just forgive myself for what I did, and, just move past that, because I have been harboring those feelings and emotions for so long, and I'm ready to let those feelings go. I just want to be happy, and I don't want to, honestly, I felt like, because I was having so many issues in life, and I'm telling you, I could write a book, I could make a movie. If I was to share some of the things that I've been through in my lifetime, I would start a job, um, and my tire would go flat on the way to the job. This is a new job, and I get, I finally end up getting to work, and I'll tell the, my supervisor, like, oh, this happened, and they looking at me like, really? And then I'll be at this job for like less than a month. A family member passes away. I got to go to a funeral. I need to take time off. It was just, it was a thing after thing after thing. And that would happen to me all the time. Like, I can't even, I'll stop there. But I'll just, say that every time that something bad happened, I always felt like I was being punished by God for for the act that I took at the age of 5. Because what the doctor informed my mother and my father, when we were at the hospital at the day that this happened, was that a minute more and my heart would have fried. So there was so much electricity coming from that wire. My body was convulsing for minutes, for quite a while. And my uncle actually saved my life. He came over to me, and he, because everybody else was scared. They were terrified to touch me. I was just shaking like you see in the movie. That was really, I can remember it like it was yesterday. And my uncle came up to me, and he pulled the wire out of my mouth. And that's when my tongue had gotten sliced by the cord. And this is what the doctor explained. So, um, and, it, the whole face was melting. This was all like, I mean, I've only met one other person in my life that has done the same thing that I did. I met him when I think I was about 11 years old, and I was at the St. Barnabas Burn Center, and because I had to go there all the time. It messed up my teeth. I recently got my teeth, fixed and straightened. I use Smile Direct. It's worked perfect for me. Sorry for those that it doesn't work for, but it's worked perfect for me. Um, but I went through a whole lot. But I met this young man, and he was a little bit older than me, if I can remember correctly. I think he was a little bit older than me. I don't remember his age. I'm not going to sit up here and make no story up and lie. I know he was older than me. Um, and it was a black boy. And I was just so like, I, I don't want to say I felt like a sigh of relief, but I kind of did. Like, wow, somebody else has done this. I'm not the only idiot that did this. And I wanted to like, I've always wondered about him all my life. This is crazy, right? But I've always thought about this young man like all my life, and wanting to know like how it affected his life, and how he is now. What why did he do what he did? Was it like the same reasons that I did what I did? I can't remember what age he did it, because we spoke for a little while we were waiting in the waiting area. And I just remember him. I remember having conversation with him, and he told me himself that he had bit an electrical wire. And I'm like, oh wow, because his face was, similar to mine. And that's what made me start looking at him. And I just asked him, I'm like, what happened to you? And and he told me, he said he bit an electrical wire. And I was like, wow, I did too. And yeah, so I always wondered about him over the years. I pray that his life is good, and that he maybe didn't have life as rough as I did. I mean, I would have like complete strangers. I remember getting off the bus from school. I was in high school. I was a freshman, and I got off the bus, and I was walking down the street, and I had a habit of walking with my head down because I didn't want anyone to say anything to me. I mean, it used to be way worse than it is now. I've had several plastic surgeries to reconstruct my face, when I was younger. And the last plastic surgery that I had was at the age of 16. And my mother stopped taking me. I'm not going to get into all of that. I thought about going back to have it like fully corrected, but it's expensive. It's extremely expensive. So I just decided, let's just live with my scars because, I'm the one that did it. So I don't know. I just, live with my scars. Um, I, I just pray that, his life wasn't as bad as mine. Oh, I'm sorry. I was in the middle brain fog. Sorry. Um, I was walking down, getting off the bus. I was walking down the street. I was holding my head down. And this older man, um, he just said to me, and I'm not making this up, is the absolute truth. As God is my witness, this is the truth. He said, "You're a very ugly young lady." And I just kept walking. I got in the house. I went in my room. I laid on my bed and I was crying. And my mother was getting ready to leave for work. She was a barmaid and she worked in the evenings. And she came in my room and she opened my door and she was like, "What the F is wrong with you?" And I told her what had just happened to me. And she was like, "Oh boy, you need to stop being so emotional. You just got to learn how to ignore people." So that wasn't very helpful for me. I think I was like 15. I was a freshman. I think I was 15 years old when that happened. And you would think that, I had tougher skin because I've been picked on and, taunted and teased all of my life since 5 to even adulthood. I'm 43. So you would think that I had a little bit thicker skin. And my own family teased me. So it wasn't just outsiders, it was family too. So, uh, it's a hard thing. It's a really difficult thing. Um, I am not looking for any type of sympathy or anything like that. Again, I'm working on forgiving myself for my action and understanding that that is not the reason why my life has been the way it has been, and that if I ask, for forgiveness, I'll be forgiven. Because it's crazy. At the time that I chose the religion that I chose, and I pray and everything, I at no point did I ever ask God to forgive me for that. I've asked for forgiveness for so many other things, and I never asked for forgiveness for that. And even as after the therapist brought it to my attention, you know, I haven't had the opportunity with a positive mindset to sit down and talk to God and pray and ask for forgiveness for that specific thing, which I will do. I'm not going to draw it out. I want to, just clear the air on that. So I know that you know, that's not. And I know, for those who are religious and things of that nature, um, you may have your things to say about it, but um, I would like to close that chapter. And I feel like that will help me close that chapter. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit and talk to God and ask Him to forgive me for that specific thing, because honestly, the result of that could have been that my life would have been taken away. And the biggest sin, as as those would like to say, is, taking one's own life. So had that been the end result, I don't. Either way, okay, I've talked for a long time. I know it has been a while, but I have a tendency to go on and on and on. But I'm very thankful to everyone, all my family who've been helping me through this difficult time, have been uplifting to me. I'm thankful for my daughter who's been my support. I'm thankful for my friends who have, you know, been okay with me having the same conversation over and over again. I'm just very grateful for life in general. I have a greater appreciation for life than I used to. I do have a desire to live now. I didn't always, but I do now. And for everyone out there, I would just like to say to love yourself, put God first, manifest the things that you want in life, be positive about those manifestations. Don't just say them, write them down, and good things will happen. Bad things don't last forever. Things will get better, as they will for me. Thank you very much for listening to this very long video. You can like, comment below. You can subscribe. That would be even better. And I'm sorry, I didn't even say I am Naisha, aka Miss Bougie. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this video, and I hope everyone has an amazing day. God bless you all.